Hello. Right, we're going to make dough with our hands. We're in my home kitchen. We're going to do a classic Neapolitan dough. This is one's going to be for about an 18-hour fermentation. And for that, we're going to use 1 kilo of the Molino Dallagiovanna 00 Napoletana flour. We are going to need 1.6 grams of fresh yeast, which looks like this. This is a big chunk of fresh yeast. This is what it looks like. But we're going to use 1.6 grams. It's kind of a ball about that big. So you're going to need something like this. These are some scales. These are little jewelry scales. These will weigh to like 0.1 of a gram. You're also going to need some scales, some bigger scales that can weigh like a whole kilo or like, you know, bigger amounts, basically down to a gram. You're going to need salt. This is fine sea salt, and there is 30 grams of sea salt in there. So, and water. You're going to need water as well. So we've got 620 grams or milliliters of cold tap water, and you're going to need something to mix it in. And we're going to use this little dough tray right here. So this is like a half-size dough tray, like the ones I use in my food truck. They're basically double the size of this. So this one, we're going to mix our dough in it, and then we're going to ferment it in it, and then we're going to ball straight into it, which cuts down all of your mess. So let's dip into it. Right, first things first. Not all bags of flour, 1 kilo, 1,000-gram bags, are going to weigh the same. Some of them are going to be like 30 grams off, maybe even up to 40. I've had it where they're either way, and that can affect your fermentation if you're really going to nail it. We're not going to overly worry about it. This video is going to be quite simple. Basically, we're doing 62% hydration, which means for our 1,000 grams or 1 kilo of flour, we're going to use 620 grams or milliliters of water. That is 62% of our 1,000 grams, okay? And then we're going to go with 3% salt, which is 30 grams of sea salt, and I'm guessing it's 0.16 grams, 0.16% of yeast, which is 1.6 grams of yeast. Okay, so first things first, what we're going to do, we're going to get some water in our tray. Okay, and we're just going to bring you down. I don't want any cuts in this video, so I'm just going to bring you down slightly so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to put the tray to the side like this. We're going to get our water, not all of it. We're going to put a load of it in the tray. Okay, we're going to hold back probably, what's that, about 150 grams or milliliters of water. Okay, then we're going to get our fresh yeast, our 1 grams of fresh yeast. I'm going to put a table right here for anyone who wants to use instant dry yeast or active yeast, and how much you should use for your temperature for your room. So we're going to go, my room right now is like 18 degrees, okay? So that's why we're doing the fermentation that we're doing, okay? So we're going to get our yeast, and we're just going to put it in the middle of our tray, and you're just going to swirl it around a little bit with your fingers. Okay, look at that. So I'm just putting it in there. I'm just swirling it around. That's already dissolved into this tray. Okay, then we're going to get our flour. I'm not going to weigh this. I would love for you to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to open it up. Like I said, this video, I don't know if I did say actually, I'm not going to do any cuts or any edits on this. You're going to come with me all the way through from start to finish. If I can open this bag of flour. Did that really badly. Right, 1 kilo of flour. We're going to dump the whole thing in. All of it. It's going in there, okay? Get rid of that. Don't need it. Okay, so this is where you're going to get your hands, and you're going to have to make sure you wash your hands, by the way. I've washed my hands. You're going to get them in, and you're going to start moving it around. And this is why I like to do this in a tray or a bowl. It just cuts down all of the mess, okay? And you're just going to fold it in. This is super simple, and what we're looking to do is just bring it all together like that, and just bring all those dry bits of flour in. It's probably easier to do this in a round bowl because you haven't got corners where things can get stuck, but we're just going to bring it all together like this. Okay, it's going to be like a sort of a shaggy dough mess at the minute, and then when you get to this stage, you can just put in a little bit more water just to pick up those little bits like that, leaving a little bit, and just bring it all together. And you're going to start to sort of form a dough, picking up all the dry bits. Try and keep one hand like clean and one hand dry. So if you've watched my other dough making video, which I'm going to put in the description, and there'll be a little link of it up here and a little screen about what it looks like. I did basically my pizza dough that I do in the truck in my mixer, okay? And it's a little bit different to this one. This is giving you a classic Neapolitan dough, but basically I add my salt a little bit later, but because we're not using a mixer and it's not as kind of, haven't got that strength, that spiral, we're going to add our salt now, okay, whilst we've still got a little bit of water. And you see this, we've already kind of almost formed a dough already. There's still some dry bits in there, but we're going to use the rest of our water to pick that up in a minute. Now I'm just going to make a little indentation in it here, and we're just going to dump our salt in the middle, and I'm just going to get a little bit of water in it, which is going to help that salt dissolve. And I'm going to just dribble the rest of the water. That's it all gone now, right? And we're just going to start to squeeze that together, and you're going to push in, and you're just going to bring everything in from all around the tray, picking up all those dry bits, and we're starting to get a dough forming. So once we've picked everything up, and we've picked up all those little bits of dry flour and everything from around the tray, and the tray is kind of cleaning out, that's when we are actually going to move to our work surface, because we're going to get kneading it. Okay, look, we've pretty much, if you have a look at that, pretty much picked up everything. We've got a dough forming already. It doesn't take long to bring it all together. Yeah, we've done it. We've got everything out of the tray, picked up all that dry flour. Okay, this is our point. We're going to get rid of the tray, and we're going to stick the dough on the work surface, okay, and we're going to start to work it. So now you're going to get your other hand involved. You're just going to start to roll it like this, pushing it towards away from you, and kind of push it away from you, and then pull it back in, turning it around, rolling it over, pushing it like this. Okay, turning it around, rolling it over. Some of you may have noticed this little green thing here. Now that is a thermopen, and it is an instant read thermometer. Now I never need my dough to time, I always need it to temperature. So what I'm going to do right now, and I talk about this a lot in my other video, I'm not going to get too technical with it. So I'm going to keep, all the way through this, I'm going to keep testing the temperature of that dough, okay, or this dough, because I don't want it to overheat. Now your hands, you know, your body's running at like 30+ degrees, okay? So your hands are going to be adding a lot of temperature and a lot of heat to this dough. And what you don't want to do, that's why I used cold water, and the flour was pretty chill as well. Flour's actually, that bag of flour's actually been in the pizza truck outside, so it's quite cool. And we're adding friction, and we're adding heat, okay? And what I don't want to do is I don't want this dough to overheat. So I'm just going to bring you up here a little bit so you can see me. Yeah, I don't want the dough to overheat, okay? And you can see it's already starting to smooth out, and look, it's all coming off my hands. It's coming away clean. Okay, and I'm just going to give it a little temp check. Now this is a Thermopen 1, and it will test the temperature pretty much instantly. All right, we're at 19.1, there we go, 19 degrees already, okay? So I'm going to keep working it. Now the magic temperature I want to get this to is 23 degrees, between 23 and 24. Now that is when yeast becomes its most active, and it likes to have the party. And what's going to happen is that yeast is going to start feeding, and it's going to start like on the flour and on the water. It's activating it, and it's going to start feeding, and it's going to start like farting out those little bubbles, which is going to make your dough nice and light and amazing. So we're just going to keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it. Now, one thing I think the issue a lot of people come into when they're doing this is they may overdo it and overheat their dough, okay, because they're looking to get this dough really, really smooth. But you don't need to get it really smooth. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look amazingly smooth. Like right now, if you look at that, that's springing back up, right? That's got a lot of gluten strength to it already. Okay, and I can actually feel it starting to warm up a little bit. And that's why it's good to start with like cold tap water and a coolish flour, okay? Because you want to be kneading it for a certain amount of time to build some strength, but you don't want to be kneading it too long that you overheat it. And that's why having the thermometer, which I'm just going to check, is important. All right, we're already up at 20 degrees now. We've risen another 1 degree, so we're just going to keep going. Yeah, we're 10 minutes into this video, and we've already formed our dough, and we're almost at the magic temperature. Now, it is currently, what time is it now? It's currently 1 o'clock here in the UK. I'm at home. It's 1 p.m. I want this dough for around 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow, okay? So that's our 16 plus-ish hours. If I wanted this dough to last longer, and I wanted to go for like a 24-hour fermentation, I'd have had to use a slightly different flour or blend in a slightly stronger one to push it a bit further, because it's all about having an understanding about the correct flours to use for the sort of method that you want to use, the process. So if you want to stick your dough in the fridge for 2 days, by all means do it. But this isn't the flour for that. You're going to need something that's a little bit stronger and is designed for that process, okay? I touch on all of this in my other dough making video. Like I say, that one's going to be in the description. It's a little bit more nerdy. I sort of delve into the strength ratings of flour and everything. So check that one out. But this one is just showing you how to make a really solid, sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath, a really solid classic Neapolitan dough with just 4 ingredients. There's no need for any oil in it. By all means add oil, but if you're adding oil, then you don't want to be cooking it over 450 degrees. But there's no need. You can see it's starting to smooth out nicely. Look at that. It's still looking a little bit mottled, but I'm going to show you something that's going to get rid of all that in a bit. Right, let's test that temp. There we go, we're at 21 now. We've gone up another degree. So every couple of minutes, as long as I work it, it goes up. So we're going to keep going. And this is why it's important to go with the temperature, because a lot of people would have finished by now. And what's going to happen, because they haven't hit that magical temperature, like that 23-ish degrees, the party's not started. Well, it started, it's activated, but it's not, it's like premium level, you know. Some people, they might only need it for 5 minutes. I see a lot of no-knead doughs, and a lot of people do that. They just add the ingredients together and then kind of like it does its thing. But the problem is there, again, you're not activating the yeast level, the temperature correct. Oh, picking up that. You're not activating it enough and getting that party going. And that's the most important thing, is the temperature. And don't worry about the salt level in this. It's not going to be too salty. Like 3% is standard. Salt's very important for the strength of the dough, for flavour, and it also helps with the yeast. It slows it down slightly. If you think there's too much salt and you put less in there, what's going to happen is the dough's going to ferment faster. So you need a certain level of salt. You know, this recipe is classic Neapolitan. It's been around for hundreds of years, and like there's no need to, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You can check like the AVNP, I think it's called, or PN, AVPN. They're like mafia on pizza, and they've got all the guidelines there, and this is basically what we're making here. So, all right, we must be up there because I'm getting a bit of a sweat on. All right, where are we at? 22. Let's keep going. Like I said to you, there's going to be no edits and no cuts in this video. So I wanted to make it all the way through to show you how easy it is. I mean, it is. I say it's easy. I'm knackered already. But we're going to keep moving. Going to keep working it. You're just bossing the dough. It's actually getting really nice and smooth now. Really strong. Like classic Neapolitan dough is usually in the low 60s of the hydration. There's no need to go like crazy, like 70, 80% or anything like that. I mean, 80% is wild, but there's no need to go above like 65. This will make a really nice, really well balanced pizza. Okay, I think we must be there. Let's have a look. No. Oh no, 22.5. Right, we're almost there, almost there. And the thing is, as you warm up, like, because it's quite tiring, you know, as you warm up, the dough's going to warm up. And I'm doing this on quite a cool work surface as well. Like if you're doing it on wood, it might react a little bit different. It wouldn't be as cold as like a stone or like a quartz or a granite worktop. Or a stainless one. Stainless can be quite cold. So, right, let's just split it. There's loads of ways in which you can do it. You can like punch it, you can do anything. It's quite therapeutic as well. Right, I'm going to call it, and I'm going to say we're there. Let's have a look. Oh, 26, 27, come on, keep going, 28. Let's go there. 22.7. 20, that was 20, that was 23. Right, I'm going to give it a little bit more. Let's really go for it. This is hard work. This is why I've got a mixer. Could you imagine doing this like by hand with like kilos and kilos? That'd be brutal. Right, that will do. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to get it into a nice ball shape. We're going to temp check it. 23, 23.1. There you go. See that? That definitely said, oh, it's gone down again. 23.2. There we go. Right. I'm done. I'm happy with that. That's done. Okay. This is where Mr. Tray comes back. So what we're going to do, we're going to put that in there and we're going to leave it alone for like 5 minutes. If you look at it, right, look at it now. You see that? You see how it's got like those little like rough bits, the little mottled bits on it. You know, it's bouncing back up. It's looking nice, but we're going to let that sit now for 10 minutes with the lid on. Well, actually 5 minutes. We're just going to do 5 minutes. 5 minutes is more than enough. And what that's going to do, that's going to let it hydrate. It's going to suck in all of that moisture. And I'll tell you what, in 5 minutes time, I'll show you. We'll put it on the work surface and we're just going to smooth it out, okay? So I'm going to quickly wash my hands and then we are, you know what we do? Whilst we're waiting for that, I'm going to make a coffee. But let's just wash our hands. Oh my God, there's dough everywhere. So your hands should be pretty clean by the end of that. Mine are not. I probably could have got more off, but there you go. Okay, let's just dry them off. And I'll tell you what. You know, whilst that's doing its thing, let's go make a coffee, okay? So come with me and let's make a coffee. Right, I'm going to spin you around. This is my coffee machine. I'm just going to turn it on, okay? And we are going to get some beans out. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. So in here, I have some nice beans. I do roast my own coffee beans. Oh man, am I going to be able to do this one-handed or not? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to spin you around. Where are we going to go? We're going to go here. We're going to go here. I'm going to put you on top of the machine. And you can see my kitchen behind and you can see the mess everywhere. Right, we got our beans, okay? I'm going to weigh out. I can do this one-handed now, actually. Let's spin you around. I bet you didn't expect this from a pizza dough making video. We're going to do a coffee. Right, so we're going to weigh out 17 grams of coffee beans. Let's get to that 17. Oh my God, come on. 16.9. Right, just one more bean. It's probably going to say 17.1 now. 17, look at that, on the nose. Right. Let's put that back in there. Okay, so we're going to get a handle out of here. We're going to put that down there. That's just like a little dosing funnel thing. Going to get that on there. Going to turn on a grinder. There's going to be a bit of noise, sorry about this. Right, beans go in the top. Grinds come out. Just going to give it a little pumpy to get the last bits out. Turn it off. Job done. Alright, going to put it in there. Give it a little tap. Whoop. Get our distributor. Just getting dough making class and a coffee one. That is like a tap down thing. Have a look at that. Got a really nice bed now. So what I like to do is I like to go up here. I get one of these little filter papers, put a little filter on there. Coffee machine is warmed up. Just gonna let it rinse through a little bit. Gonna get our cup. Okay, and we are gonna turn it on. Gonna hit the timer and check this out. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Dribble coming out of there. Look at that. So we're looking for I want about 34 grams out. So we're doing like 1 to 2 or 2 to 1 in about 28 seconds, which is about now. So that is beautiful. We're going to get that up there and we're going to get some milk out. So I'll just leave you here for a second whilst I get the milk out. Got a jug here. Got a fridge. This is why you should edit stuff, all right? But this is just killing time because I don't really want to talk about dough much more. I want it to be quite a simple video when it came to making the pizza. And I didn't want to have to do many edits. So what we're going to do now, we're going to steam our milk. Right, let's go. Let's put you over here. And you can see what I'm doing now. You're getting all the angles. Look at this. Right, let's just turn that off like that. Let's go down like this. All right. So we've got a jug. I'm going to put that in there. And we're just going to steam and heat our milk. If anyone wants to know, this is a La Marzocco Micra machine. And I'm using a Turin DF83 grinder. It's got 83mm flat burrs. The coffee, I usually roast my own, but this is Rave Coffee Chatsworth blend. So it's got big chocolatey vibes. That's now done. Just going to purge that. Right then. And here we go. Let's put you, I'll tell you what, let's bring you back over here. Let's put you back here where you were before. Hopefully that's going to be good. Right, cool. And let's grab the coffee. Woohoo! Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Right, let me get this out of the way. And let's see if I can get you a nice pour here. So here we go. So I'm just making a nice little bed. Little squiggles. You can cut through. There you go. Look at that. Bosh. I'm going to put that down there. I'm going to show you that actually. That is a nice looking, that's like a latte. Look at that. Beautiful. So there you go. Right, now I'm going to put that to one side. That's banging. Right, let's bring in the dough. I don't know how long that took. I think that was about 5 minutes. So it shouldn't have been too much longer. Right, we're going to bring in dough. And we're going to just pour it out onto the side. Right, and look at this now, okay? So let's bring you back down again because you don't need to see my face. You want to see the dough. Right, look at it now, okay? It's still got that sort of mottled effect on it, right? But if I just fold it over on itself a couple of times and bring it in and fold it over, and you have a look at that, how smooth and soft that dough now looks. Look at that. And I'm just tucking it in under itself. Now that dough, have a look at that now. It's soft, it's strong, and that is ready for fermenting. So what we're going to do, I'm going to stick that back in the container, and we're going to leave it now in here with the lid on for 1 hour. Okay, and then we're going to come back and we're going to ball it up. So that is a cut for now. I'll see you in an hour. Bye-bye. Right, it's been an hour, just over. It's 2:10 now. So let's check it out. Look at that. So it's kind of like doubled up. I'd say it's flattened out, but it's doubled up. So let's pull you down here so you can see, and let's get it out. So I'm just going to scoop it out, and we're going to put it on the work surface. I don't want to like overly mess with it at this point. It's nice and relaxed, and we're just going to get it out, and we're going to put it down here. So let's bring you down. Okay, so if you look at this, we got like a sausage of dough. Okay, now normally what I would do when I'm making like I do this with a big bulk amount, I'd cut it down the middle. So that's actually what I'm going to do, and I'd make like this long snake of dough. Okay, now you can bulk ferment this for a lot longer if you like, or you can do it. So this is classic. You leave it for like an hour or so. Hello. Right, you'd leave it for like an hour or so, and then you'd roll it up. Okay, but I'm going to show you this at like this level. Okay, so what we're going to do, you're going to get your fingers, and you're going to get this dough, and you want it to be about the width of what the dough ball's going to be. And I'm just going to go and get the scales. As if magic, scales have appeared. Right, going to zero them off. Okay, we are shooting for like about 270 grams. So I'm going to put them around, so hopefully, I don't know if you can see the weight on there, but we'll see. So it's facing you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get underneath, and I'm just going to tuck the dough ball in on itself. I'm going to go around like this, and I'm just pinching underneath like that. You see that? And I'm just going to get my finger, I'm just squeezing, I'm going to pinch one off. And put it on there. Where are we at? There you go, that's 280. So there's a little, 10 grams over, that's not bad. There you go, 266. I'm going to add a little bit back. Right, we're at 269. And we're just going to leave that to one side. Leave it alone, okay? Right, let's get another one. So I'm going to get like this underneath. Going to roll it round. I'm going to pinch it off again. And straight onto there. 276, we're getting closer. 269, that will do. And then this one I'm not going to do anything with. I'm just going to dunk it on there because we're just with 273. There you go, 272. It doesn't matter if they're a few grams out. Right, I'm going to show you another technique here for making the dough balls. So you can just cut them like this, okay? Right, and at this point, you've got options, okay? You can, let me just bring you down a little bit more. You can, like, let's weigh it off. 280, oh, I'll tell you what, we'll just get them all weighed. 270, 26, that's at 256. Add a little bit there, 266. Take a little bit more. There you go. And then this one's going to be a little bit over. We're going to have a bit left. 259. Where are we at? 271. And then we've got a little bit left. We're just going to add it because it doesn't matter if they're all a little bit over. We'll just add a little bit extra to each one just to use it up, not to waste anything. And these will make like a good 12-inch pizza, okay? So we've got our balls. And what I normally do is I'd get to this stage and I'd be doing like maybe 80, 90, 100 of these, right? And then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to roll them, okay? And there's a few ways of doing it. So the way I do it normally is I get it up like this and I just fold it in on itself like that. And then I'm just doing this motion. And what I'm doing is I'm just squeezing it like that. And you're going to get a really nice, tight, finished dough ball like this. Have a look at that. Okay, right, and the underside is sealed enough. You don't even really have to worry about it being fully sealed because what we're going to do, we're going to get our tray and we're going to place it into our tray. And once the bottom of it hits the bottom of the tray, it's going to seal itself anyway. So I'm going to show you that again. Got this one that I cut and weighed, and I'm just squeezing like this, okay? And I'm just going around like that, and there you go, that's our dough ball, okay? ready to go. Nice surface tension. It's super smooth, okay? And we got a really nice surface tension on it, and that's going to go in the tray. Now, another way of doing it, you can do it on the counter, okay, like this. Right, let's get rid of these ones. This one here, you just roll it over itself like that, and you see I'm tucking it underneath itself and spinning it at the same time. So you're essentially you're building that tension in it and that nice surface tension. And if you look, this is pretty much what I was doing in my hand, but on the surface. And look at that, got really nice smooth little dough ball. It's nice and springy, it's nice and smooth. That's just popping back up again, and that's ready to go in the tray. You can do this technique where you just fold it all in on itself, again building that surface tension, right? And then you can roll it whilst kind of like cupping it and squeezing it, and you bring it towards you. You can do that one where you just sort of slide it towards you. Like, there's a million different ways of doing this, and there's no right or wrong, but I do this way because I find it a lot faster for me, and I can just do it quite quickly like that, and I can thunder through my dough, right? Look at that, properly nice, properly smooth. And what you got there now is we've got 6 dough balls in a tray ready to go. Now they're going to sit in this tray now. I'll bring you back up here. So that's it. Basically, we've made dough, we put them in a tray. They are going to sit in this tray at room temperature with a lid on. Always make sure they're covered with the lid on. We're going to put it on, and they're going to sit now for about 14, maybe even 16 hours. And in that time, what they're going to do, they're pretty much going to double in size. They'll start to touch each other. They'll push up against the other dough ball, and they'll start to rise up. They're going to be really nice and easy to work with. You're going to get a really nice classic pizza out of it. If you want to see how I make this dough, like with a machine, and my dough, which is ever so slightly different, I mix in another flour, then check out the other video on this end screen here. If you really liked this video or any of my others, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to see me smashing out pizza in the van and how I do it, then check out this one up here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's how easy it is. It's not hard. Get out there, make banging pizza, and enjoy yourself. All right, see you later. Bye.